Wow, you're talented. My name is Jacqueline Guy, but I'm known as Jackie Guy. And I was Tennis Woman of the Year, to my great surprise, in 2009
For the USTA.
with the USTA Eastern. And they are the best around.
So when you taught Jeremy and his brother, right? Did you teach Matt how
Not
to play?
really.
I didn't really teach them, they were naturals.
Oh, okay. But you were also very athletic. What were all the sports that you played throughout your life?
Basketball was
your main
major.
one.
I still
Yeah.
have twisted fingers.
Yeah.
Also.
I think that's where I get it from. I love her basketball kid from her. I remember she had it. We're at my grandmother's house right now.
Yes.
I mean, as long as I've been alive, she's lived here. And there was a hoop in the driveway.
Yeah.
And I remember her shooting free throws or just jump shots and never missing.
Again.
And I forgot about how good of a shooter she was until recently, recently, right before the pandemic, I was playing in the basketball league and I told her, I had a couple games where I scored 20 points recently. She goes, really, that's good, but I never scored less than 20 points. But what's funny is after she said that, she told me, just feel it. She gave me a tip on shooting. And I had played college basketball, I played Pro-Am and so on. She told me, just feel it, don't measure it, feel it, just feel it come off your fingers. So the next game I go in, and I think to myself, let me just take this advice, and it worked.
I was good at shooting.
Yes.
I remember, you completely from the corner on the right with you at the side and the thing there. I could go 24 in a row.
Yeah.
But memorizing,
Yes.
the thing,
Yes.
this.
Yes. The
And,
hand-eye coordination you were born with.
And muscle memory for that.
Tell me how tennis came into your life, because it came into your life a little later. You were very athletic your whole life.
Yeah.
Basketball was your first love.
Yeah.
And where does
I
tennis
loved
come
it.
in?
And because these were just all kind of 1 acre, you build a house. And all of a sudden, we see these people, there's some kind of camaraderie from being everybody's for the first time here, and a lot of difference in the people.
Yeah.
And one of them comes, and she had 2 other friends, I didn't know anybody, and she said, oh, we need a fourth
Player.
player. Oh, would you come? Because they knew I was,
Athletic.
And I said, oh, yes, I never played. I never played tennis. I remember pictures of my mother and my uncle with their old white holding a wooden racket. Oh, in those days,
Lawn tennis.
Children were children.
They didn't play.
You don't bring the children.
Yeah.
It was their thing.
The adult thing.
Yeah,
The lawn
they were
tennis.
not very good, but
It was their thing. Yeah. Okay.
they look good, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
With,
So you had some reference of tennis. You just never played tennis.
not even a reference, because our world was so separated from the adults.
And this is in France?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where in France was this, man?
Paris?
So what year is it that you discovered tennis? That you asked to become the 4th player? Do you remember what year?
That must be 1975.
Okay.
About.
Yeah.
The house was built in 1972, 73. None of these ladies were very athletic.
So you picked up quickly? You surpassed them quickly?
The second year they had stopped playing tennis.
Ooh, okay.
And I had been taking lessons.
Yeah.
To get started.
Yes.
So I kept it up. I played maybe a couple of years, getting a bit better until I joined. Rockland was a division with a bit north of Monroe. All that area was a division, and the competition was pretty much with these people.
Okay.
The people you feared the most were Long Island. Long
Mm-hmm.
Island was, the top. And Bergen was very active, but it was such a small league. We went to Bergen, and then we got better. You know, it's not well the Volvo leagues were
Okay.
way.
So you start competing in Eastern,
Yeah.
and
I started-
mainly Northern Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then of course, when I got better, we were doing well, in fact, and.
Doubles or singles? Or both?
For me, I pushed doubles.
Doubles, okay.
Yeah, no, doubles. I could play single, but it would take me a long time, you know, figure it again, and
Okay,
you know.
okay.
But I like doubles,
Yeah.
and we decided, why don't we go to Westchester?
Ooh.
We are playing the playoffs. We won the league.
Okay.
We are celebrating.
Yeah.
Some husbands are bringing champagne,
Yeah.
flowers.
Yeah.
When the pro comes, that was supervising, we defaulting one of our players.
After you already won?
Yeah,
Why?
because she came to the net, and at that level, people do not come to the net. And it was a shower. His name was Scott.
Ooh, she knows
Scott
his
from.
name. Better call out his name. No, continue. Continue.
And they took it away.
Because did she hit the net with her racket?
No. The opposite girl, had an injured arm.
Uh-huh.
So she couldn't really play. And she went and she was put first single. You know, like sometimes you would give up the first single
Yes.
to obtain before they started. But so.
So they took away your win?
Yeah. We were so hurt,
Yeah.
so upset.
Yeah.
Well, that got me.
Yes.
We are going to
Come back.
Yeah, from that.
So did you return to the same tournament and win again?
We came second. They were misrated. They weren't even a rating, you know, when in fact the rating, so it started revising the rating, and after each match I would do the lineup, but then after the next day I would call the other captains.
Okay.
Oh, you played so and so. So how did you? I became all the captains. We were.
You did your own cross check.
That's
Right.
Yeah,
Because you can't trust these pros out here who are defaulting your players.
No, it was just, I don't know why I did that. Because maybe, you know, you have this ego.
Sure. That's usually what it is.
Yeah.
So you're competing, and then when did you start to teach?
And so then is when I go to that club that is close, and that friend, Sally Morton.
Yep.
And I deal with her because I was, the whole thing came when the Wilson came out with that 21-inch racket.
Yeah.
There was a French group called the Petit Tennis
Okay.
that were doing their own equipment. They even had 15-inch rackets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When I went to France with my, you know, I go to a store, I discovered that they had 19-inch rackets.
Okay.
So I bought about 5, 6, 19-inch put out by head.
Yeah. I
head.
love the head shoes, yeah.
Then go to a convention, PTR in Hilton Head. The people from Head are having a meeting.
Okay.
I gave them a racket and they're going to talk. Oh, I should have gone to the meeting.
Okay.
And they came out, we never got to sell such rackets in this country.
Why? They didn't believe it would sell?
Well, they were not interested.
So Paris was investing in children's rackets, but the U.S. at the time didn't want to?
Oh, they had a big thing in France. Oh, they were. You would see people, little kids coming with a racket in the street at Chinton.
And this is in the 80s?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, they had,
So you walk into the convention in Hilton Head with your 17-inch racket, your exclusive,
Yeah, but the reps
and they weren't interested.
No, totally uninterested.
even though that was their own brand.
Yeah. And then Barbara told them they never heard of it. Another thing, you could not get a net with a strap in the middle. You know. you don't need to teach kids, you don't need a strap. How come you don't need a strap? If you teach a class, you want to divide them, they're not gonna look on the floor because you put all these things. They look there, you know. So one day I decide I'm gonna sew.
You're gonna sew your own strap?
Yeah. Guess what? The next day I go to a school.
Yeah.
Because I'd started in the after-school programs.
Yeah.
A kid jumps, lands on the court, on the net, destroys it.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but the school reimbursed me for the net.
So you could make more. Okay. So you're already teaching and you're recognizing the things that are lacking in America, and you're trying to change that.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that honestly I didn't know. You know, like the big thing. Okay, we shake hand, Eastern grip, and okay, shake hand. But the first thing we try to teach them is a volley.
Sure. Which is a different grip.
With continental.
Yeah.
So, but continental turns out is the easiest thing because you tell the kid your racket is a hammer.
Most natural. Yeah, that's true. So then, throughout the 80s and 90s, you continue coaching and competing?
Yeah, but also one mother was so impressed, when I did, and the kid loved it so much.
Yeah.
She called the USTA to tell them that there was a program, and that's when the USTA contacted me and asked if I would do in a school.
You had a way with people, it sounds like.
I just, I like people.
Yeah.
I really like people. I like kids,
Yes.
What you see is what you get. So
yes, I love that too. Yes.
Get that.
So how did you become USTA Woman of the Year in 2009?
I guess. Because on top, and then I had a and I had a program every Sunday.
Okay.
I had 120 kids.
Ooh.
Here.
I worked that program with her sometimes.
Oh, that's a lot of kids. How many courts?
12. No, I used 10. I used 10 because the last two I had to see.
Yeah.
This was in West Rock, right?
Yeah.
That one? Yeah.
Wow.
I used 10. And the way I got involved with this is Allison playing tennis. And I said, I had heard that there was that league. I said, okay, go. And I thought, it is so stupid the way they do it. Because the parents are all involved.
They're too involved.
Everybody would put in their 2 cents.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, right?
But they were not even looking at the parents that were the children. They wanted their kid, there. And I said at the club, I said, at one point they needed more kids and more people, whatever. I said, I'll take over.
Yeah.
And with Allison, we had 120 kids. They would play 2 Sunday out of 3. So sitting, but they would then the others would become subs for in case they were absent.
Okay.
I hired high school kids to work for me.
To help coach, yeah.
Because this put the ball on the court to pick the kid, and eventually if somebody was really absent, put these kids whatever level to fill the thing.
Yeah.
Then it grew to 140 kids.
Wow.
Once we had a father that wanted to hit another father because his kid had called the other one because he wore glasses or something. But we had to call the police.
You had to call the police. Tennis parents can be crazy.
Yeah, it was. They were gonna fight.
Yeah.
And there was a button under the desk.
The SOS button to call the police.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Because I had the key to the club. I was the only one.
You were the queen of the club.
I would open the club, close it, and do this,
So you're teaching, you're creating all these programs, and then who contacts you to be the USTA Woman of the Year? Tell me about that year.
I have no idea.
So they just contacted you and said, hey, we want to award you.
2009.
And by that time, I'm a member of the USPTA and PTR.
Yeah.
Oh, PTR was also another one here.
And PTR, and I go to all the meeting, you know.
Right.
Like, I went, every year I would go to Hilton Head,
Okay.
you know, with Dan Santorum.
Okay.
Like now they've moved to the west coast of.
The Pro of the Year for 2002 PTR.
Oh God!
Well, I mean, I'm assuming this is because you were very innovative, because you constantly saw what was missing and you weren't afraid to implement a better way.
Yeah,
right?
I did it.
Is that what they told you? Because that's what I would bet they told you.
Yeah. No, because I was, but you know, I ended up like through the year, such an amount of in between like Women's League, the USTA leagues, the kids, then all the schools, you know, and then I trained high school kid to teach also to help.
But people clearly loved you for many years.
Oh, yeah,
clearly.
Get this.
You're humble. You're humble about it. Can I ask you a question as a tennis student and you as a coach? What were some of your key lessons you would try to teach the kids?
Well, first of all, to be fair, you know, definitely. I have witnessed bullying.
Yes.
Things I don't even mention. I witnessed. It's incredible.
Yes.
But it's and also I was teaching also a lot with the young high school kids that were working for me, because like every time they said, "Oh, me and Louis," I'm sorry, Louis and I just and recently I spoke to one and asked, recently, maybe 3 years ago, and asked him about what he was doing, whatever. And he said, "Jackie, I spent my youth with you."
Yeah.
It was on Sunday.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Yeah.
You know, I miss it. I still get...
you played up until you were how old, roughly?
Oh my God.
Into your early 90s? 80s?
Oh no, late 80s.
Late 80s you continued to play.
I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, 94.
What part of tennis do you miss the most?
The social aspect.
I knew it.
The social aspect.
Is that why you prefer doubles other than the court being a smaller, smaller gym?
No, doubles because I was more interested in organizing.
Yeah.
You know, now I enjoyed playing, but I didn't really care. You know, if it was winning or if the team won. Yeah, I cared. Yeah.
I had a feeling it was a social aspect. You remember when we went to the U.S. Open in 2017?
Yeah.
It was amazing. I was so impressed by walking up there. And usually if we go places in New York, I run into people I know. But everybody kept on coming up to her and saying, "Jackie, how have you been?" And I already knew she was a big deal in tennis by then. Of course, she had won the USTA Tennis Woman of the Year.
Yeah.
But I didn't know to what level it was in all these pros. I think we saw Patrick McEnroe. Did we see Yannick Noah there? Yannick Noah? Yannick Noah. Oh yeah,
Yannick Noah is not around anymore.
What's the biggest life lesson tennis taught you?
I had my standards. There's so many stories I could tell you about, especially in the schools. You know, once a poor little boy was bullied, and I felt so sorry for him.
On the court or just in school?
It was in the school. We had maybe sometimes 3 courts in the gym. And I said, I had an old Prince, because I used to bring all my equipment. The kids didn't have to bring anything. I used to bring everything. And I said, you did so well. I'm going to give you a racket and 1 ball. So like that, when you're home, you can do it. The following week, the mother with the child, did he steal this? You know, it's this situation that with the kids that
you can tell and learn.
that are very difficult.
Yeah. Do you know where, maybe in your childhood, like where did you get the drive to be fearless and to discover a lot and to pave your own way?
I just had it, nothing. See, I went through World War II.
Yeah.
So I did as, I've known bombing, I've known running in a field, and so it's just me.
Yeah. So you weren't afraid of much after that? Everything else was easier.
But we were children, so it was, for my mother, it was worse, we were not, it's a memories,
Right.
Right. We live with the occupation, German occupation, interaction, whatever, but it was more we lived, that way it was. It's
you were so young that it was
it didn't work.
Yeah.
It's just the way I feel. I said, I like people, I will always help, One thing I cannot stand is hypocrisy.
Yeah, me too.
Hypocrisy, and I have seen it in tennis.
I'm sure.
I have seen it in tennis.
I'm sure you've seen it all.
I've become friend with Patrick McEnroe.
Okay.
And he has told me, you know what? I will only know it's you when you talk.
Yeah.
I got on a meeting his parents, and we had a long talk.
Oh, okay.
And his mother was saying, "Oh, Patsy, I must have had another grandchild coming," and said, "Oh, Patsy is expecting a child." So we were there, and I said, "Patrick, is your mother calling you Patsy?" She said, "No." "Oh, is Patsy your wife?" "No." "Well, she did call you Patsy."
You know the inside scoop. How come Jeremy and Matt never took up tennis, full time? Because of basketball?
I played tennis. I remember playing in the league in Edgewater. When I was 15.
In high
for
school?
a year. Yeah, in high school. But basketball was more popular.
We all had, life was so busy. It's, the involvements,
We also lived, 45 minutes away. And then to play tennis was either go Edgewater or come here. Plus, basketball was a more popular sport, and it was easily accessible. You just needed a ball, and you go to the court nearby. And basketball was her first love as well.
Right.
Sports basketball and other sports. So I think for me, the popularity of Michael Jordan era. That's when I grew up.
The 90s. Yeah. What's your word of wisdom for your grandson Jeremy for his life?
Well, we're supposed to go to Patagonia.
Oh, okay.
We are.
Wow.
Do you still want to go?
Yeah.
You do want to go. Last time I asked you if you wanted to go, you said you were too tired to go.
I've learned a few things in between.
Okay. In that case, let's go this year. Let's go. We have to go in the winter now?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll go in January. Do you want to go?
Yeah. Just.
So that you're adventure buddies.
Yes, but we traveled already together.
We go together. We drink champagne together.
Yeah. I got first class tickets to the airplane.
Adventure buddies.
And we're gonna play. My friend's a flight attendant, so she keeps on bringing us champagne. I was like, "Mammy" is how do you say grandmother in French. So I said, "Mammy, drink some water." She's like, "I'm fine." She drank champagne the whole ride. She got off and just over. It was great. We had a lot of fun. We went to Paris. We went to Toulouse to visit some family. We kind of did a little French tour.
Yeah.
I got to meet my grandmother's sister I'd never met before, and some family I'd never met, which was really nice. And she's going again in a few days.
So you're clearly very close. What's your words of wisdom for him to remember as he lives this life? What would you say? What is your best advice for him?
No, just we're on the same wavelength. He has a twin, but I'm closer to Jeremy.
I love that.
Matt.
Do you have any more questions for your grandmother?
Well, I do want to say that when I knew she was a big deal, but you won the US Open really made me realize the achievements she achieved. And I remember when you won the Tennis Woman of the Year, USTA, my mom went as well, of course. And we kind of then realized the impact she made on the sport. She changed the sport and how it was taught. So it feels good to say that that's my grandmother, and I'm proud of her.
I just really, really like tennis. As I said, I've enjoyed it.